When you start to see the political leadership of some of these countries, it makes sense that some of them are doomed to be crackheads. This as one person that is not acting like a crackhead is, of course, the current president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. That, of course, is involved in a controversy over a $400 million luxury jet from Qatar. Is this something to worry about, as there's even right-wing influencers not being happy about this, as Trump's rebuttal about this particular story on ABC News definitely promotes a big smackdown moment that we're going to be playing and going over in this particular video, as there's a lot of serious issues when it comes to lobbying and buying off politicians. And guess what? The Qatari jet isn't on top of that list, and we'll tell you why in this particular video, as there are a lot of people being bought off in Washington, D.C. But I think it's fair to say Donald Trump is a little bit different of an anomaly here, especially with Sheldon Adelson, that and his wife now, that probably aren't too happy with what's developing right now. Let's just get right into it, as we have a lot to discuss in this particular video, as the mainstream media is fully just going on this rampage. Trump getting put off by the Qatars. Trump getting bribed. Trump selling out. And again, I think, I'll tell you why, but I think a lot of these things are just absolute ridiculous statements. I don't care about the jet. I think the jet controversy is just being artificially inflated right now for a particular purpose, just to try to destroy the bigger efforts that Donald Trump is working on right now that are truly grand right here. ABC News, Trump administration poised to accept palace in the sky as gift from Trump. From Qatar, sources. Oh no, the sources. Trump's eye on Qatar's $400 million luxury jet is already causing a stir. Trump says U.S. government plans to accept luxury jet following reports. There's reports of multi-million-dollar gift from Qatar. Qatar offers Trump jumbo jet to serve as Air Force One. And then, of course, this one from Politico. Trump feels the heat from MAGA over great gesture of a luxury jet from Qatar. Now, Qatar's doing some other things, by the way. And Trump and Qatar cut a deal, and they cut Israel out of it. And Israel's not really happy, as the deal that they cut is actually really good and actually freed a man. We'll talk about that in the bigger deals that Donald Trump is working on in just a little bit. But Politico writes, Laura Loomer, the hard right activists and Trump ally, said Qatar is not our friend. Well, it looks like they're becoming a little bit more friendly than the Israelis, as Donald Trump's like, hey, they're actually giving us something here. We're actually working something out here. As there was a very tense moment just a couple minutes ago, as Donald Trump was signing an executive order, pretty much launching a full frontal assault on the medical industrial complex in this country, by the way, as he's going to be reducing drug prices significantly here in the United States in order to match, how the rest of the world does it, as the amount of just abuse by the medical industrial complex against the American people is just ridiculous. Donald Trump has taken executive action on that. And as he's doing that, as RFK Jr.'s there talking about how many of the Democrats and his family wanted to do this for a long time, how this was a dream of Bernie Sanders to do for a long time. And Donald Trump is doing it. ABC News decides to change the topic of discussion here, not talk about the issue, and then be like, oh, you're taking a jet. Why are you taking a jet from the Qataris? And Donald Trump issued this smackdown.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why
Because
not?
only ABC, well, a few of you would.
All righty, starting off to a bombastic start here. But the question, later, it's a personal gift to you. It's Air Force One. It's going to be the government's jet. Okay. Donald Trump's not going to take this jet. Again, the question, the way it's asked, already from a very manipulative type of way here. The jet is going to be the government's jet. It's not going to be Donald Trump's personal jet. He's not going to take it home to Mar-a-Lago, okay?
Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, 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 don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and then not received anything?
It's not a gift to me, it's a gift.
Exactly. That's another. You've been given a gift. The government is saving money here. And that's what Donald Trump is arguing here. As, of course, all these other politicians are like, yeah, we'll buy this, we'll spend this, we'll waste away your money. And again, it's not government's money. It's your money that Donald Trump is actually saving here.
Gift to the Department of Defense, and you should know better because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster. Here is the bill. Bobby, come on over here. Now you're talking about trillions and trillions.
There's another clip afterwards that's it's pretty eye-opening, to say the least here. But before getting into that second clip and to talk about the significance here and the real lobbyists and the real big money donors that are buying off people left and right here, I wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. One of the best shops where we source some of the best stuff, high-quality products out there for you. And our first product was a product that helped me personally a lot, and that was the Chill Pill. That is ashwagandha with black pepper. It's something that I like, that I use, that I have been personally taking during times of stress. So when I'm dealing with a lot of stress, when I'm dealing with a lot of issues, I'm like, okay, let's get the ashwagandha out there. It helps you lower cortisol levels, but you do not want to do that for a long period of time. I personally take ashwagandha 1 month out of the year. That's me. Some medical professionals are talking about you should not take it more than 3 months out of the year. And again, if you are dealing with certain health ailments, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be taking it. And you should do your own research before taking anything into your own body. This is powerful stuff. It helps you have healthy hormone levels. It helps optimize your energy levels. It helps you have an elevated mood, especially if you're going through a very serious issue. And more importantly, it helps boost your testosterone. But it's not just for males. It's also for women. I know one woman in my life that's dealing with an incredible amount of stress. The doctor told her, take some ashwagandha. I gave her some ashwagandha, and she's having some positive results from our Chill Pill. Again, very powerful stuff. Take it after doing your own research. And truly, this is the stuff that helped me start my own journey. And I remember I had 4 chins, not just 2. I remember I was doing all the wrong things with my diet, with my sleep, not exercising. Basic stuff. Once you do that stuff, and again, you got to get on it now. You can't wait till you're older. It gets harder and harder. The level to enter and to be healthy is just compounding with the difficulty levels, and that's why I recommend people supplement. I needed a boost to kind of help me out here, and this was the boost that personally helped me out. It might help you. Check it out. Do your own due diligence. Do your own homework on wearechange.shop. Take out the Chill Pill, and let me know what you guys are feeling from it as well. Now, let's continue on here as this moment right here with Donald Trump signing the executive orders, reducing drug prices up to 80%. Again, some libertarians not happy about this, but let's be honest with ourselves. Big Pharma has had their way with the American people for far too long. That's an argument for a different day here. As right now, this was a major liberal democratic kind of policy. And again, ABC News just wants to make it, you're being bought off by the Qataris. You're getting gifts from the Qataris. Qataris are buying you off. He just pissed off one of the biggest industries in the world. When we look at big pharma advertisements, when we look at big pharma buying off politicians, doctors, and creating more of a favorable situation for them, overwhelmingly against the benefit of the American people. He's just pissed off one of the most powerful lobbies. He pissed off another very powerful lobby as well. And he's now trying to put an end to war, which would stop another very powerful lobby, the military-industrial complex. This is a different kind of juggernaut that, of course, doesn't give a damn. And he is a bull in a china shop in the old establishment political world order where money was able to buy policy. Now, Big Pharma gave him a lot of money. Let's just be real with ourselves. He gave Big Pharma almost everything that they wanted in 2020 and 2021. Let's be real. Let's just be a little frank here, okay? Let's have a little honest discussion here, unlike a lot of other people who are just repeating the orthodoxies and what other people are tweeting and saying and following and marching and lockstep in order and being good little obedient slaves and not trying to expand their consciousness and be honest with themselves here. We don't play that, okay? Let's be real. 2020, 2021, Big Pharma said, we're going to do whatever we want. Donald Trump was like, okay, here you go. No liability either. Have your way. Have all the money. Boom. Now, this is something that is a bit of a different situation. And there's a reason he wanted RFK Jr. by him for his side during this moment. Because I think deep down, he feels like he made some mistakes during 2020 and 2021. And I think this is him on his kind of personal redemption arc, trying to deal with some of those larger consequences. As, of course, RFK Jr. now has been absolutely right in 2020, 2021, and has been now quietly reversing a lot of the very bad policies that, let's be honest, and the very bad procedures that Donald Trump instituted with Operation Warp Speed.
It's a gift to the Department of Defense, and you should know better. Because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster. Here is the bill. Bobby, come on over here.
ABC News helped also cover up the Epstein saga, horrible news organization that just regurgitates the CIA establishment talking points here. But he's like, hey, Bobby, come over here. All right, we're gonna give it to Big Pharma here. Big Pharma gave me a lot of money. And RFK Jr. even mentioned that during this press conference, by the way. And then he was like, yeah, but unlike all these other politicians, just because you give Trump money doesn't mean he's gonna be your bee.
Now you're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, a quick question about Turkey.
Thank you very much.
Yep, a very powerful moment there. As we have to understand here, there's a lot of money being thrown around by a lot of countries that want to spread foreign influence. The biggest of one has been Israel. And we have the Aldensons that have been giving Donald Trump a lot of money. And a lot of them are having regrets for doing that, as of course now we are involved in a very strange situation where Donald Trump is absolutely pissing off Bibi Netanyahu and working out deals with Qatar, with Egypt, which, by the way, Donald Trump thanked publicly as he went around the back of Israel, as Israel is now being accused of trying to sabotage some of these peace talks, some of these ceasefire deals that Donald Trump is signing without their acknowledgement of it, without them even knowing it's happening, as there's now back and forth accusations of some pretty serious things, as even CNN was forced to admit that Donald Trump is the reason why an American Israeli citizen, Eden Alexandra, has been released by Hamas. And this is a sign of goodwill. This is a sign. And again, what is ABC going to use? ABC News is going to go, that was a gift to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's going to take this guy. He's going to make him a slave. No. It's a goodwill gesture. Okay? It's a gesture like, hey, look, we're willing to play ball here. You want these guys freed? We'll free one of them just to show you that we're willing and open to do this, just because we want a good deal moving forward. As of course they report how there was, CNN is reporting how there was enormous diplomatic effort and pressure that was done by the United States, Egypt, and Qatar. Israel, not involved here.
about what this deal, which was brokered not by the Israeli government but by the United States to get this American citizen out of Gaza, what it means for the other hostages who don't have American citizenship, who just have, in many cases, Israeli citizenship. And there is certainly hope that perhaps this agreement to release Idan Alexander could unlock a broader deal to secure the release of all of the other hostages, to perhaps even end the war in Gaza, or at least to get to some kind of a ceasefire that will see hostages coming out of the Gaza Strip, and of course much needed calm in Gaza and much needed aid to go into the Gaza Strip for the more than 2 million civilians who live there. We know that tomorrow an Israeli delegation will be traveling to Doha, Qatar to try and work on that broader negotiation. And all of this, of course, is happening because of enormous diplomatic effort and pressure that is now being brought to bear by the United States and by President Trump, who said that he very much sees this release of Idan Alexander as a first of the final steps towards ending this war in Gaza and releasing all of the remaining hostages held there.
Yeah, to me, great that Donald Trump was able to do this with Qatar, with Egypt. Sure, Israel wasn't involved here, but again, there's a rift here. And when we look at the Israeli lobby, we're talking about one of the most powerful lobbies in the world that Donald Trump is now going up against directly. Is that why all the fake news out there is like, oh no, he's being bought up by the Qataris? Is that why the corporate media, the fake news, the prostitutes, the horse stream media, is that why they're all freaking out right now? Because Donald Trump is wheeling and dealing without being an exact aid, an exact type of under-the-thumb control of one particular country that has expansive influence and control over our political system? Is Donald Trump moving away from this type of tightly controlled foreign policy initiatives that all these other presidents carried out? Is that why it's happening right now? As I would say, probably. And other world leaders and other rebel leaders even that are now the leaders of countries like in Syria coming out and saying, we're going to build the Trump Tower in Damascus. ABC News, oh, no, Trump's getting more gifts. No. You didn't say anything about the Adelsons. You didn't say anything about Big Pharma. You didn't say anything about clear actions where there was big amounts of money. You didn't say anything about the Bidens in China. You didn't say anything about the Bidens in Ukraine. But now it's an issue? It's only an issue because the Israelis are being cut off of negotiations. And you bet your bottom dollar that it wouldn't have been an issue if that wouldn't be happening right now. Now, it's going to be interesting to see the deal because Donald Trump in just a few minutes is going to be going on Air Force One and flying to Saudi Arabia. Now, I would argue that all of the feathers that he's ruffling, Big Pharma, the Israeli lobby, the military-industrial complex, is going to put more targets on his back. But this is a different juggernaut here, okay? So pray for this man's safety. Pray for this man's strength and courage to do the right thing and stand up against some of the most powerful, sinister influences in our society and say enough is enough. I'm actually going to change things and make things for the better here in the United States in a way that works out for the benefit of the American people. Now, again, Trump came out and says Syria deserves a fresh start as he talks about how sanctions might be on the chopping block and how there might be new policies that could be established here. As, of course, we have the Israeli government that just bombed Syria, sending a message to the new Syrian leader that they could take him out in any moment, at any time. Now, Trump coming in saying, I might recognize Palestine. I'm going to make a deal with Syria. I might make a deal with Turkey. I might give Saudi Arabia nuclear weapons. I might rename some things in the Middle East. I might set up a new U.S. petrodollar system. I might work out even an energy deal with Iran. I might lift sanctions on Iran. I might allow Iran to sell oil on the world market. As of course, after a fourth round of talks in Oman between Iran and the United States, Trump praised Iran for, quote, acting very intelligently and promised good things to come during his trip to the Middle East. He said, quote, "We want Iran to be wealthy and wonderful and happy and great, but they can't have nuclear weapons," very simply. So I think they understand that. All of this, as there were huge oil fields found right now that Iran has discovered that they might be working with Russia or the United States in order to drill them. We're talking about potentially trillions of dollars here. Now, Donald Trump here has the opportunity to wheel and deal and reshape the vision of the world towards a more favorable American, hegemonic, free, prosperous, and incredible way that actually works out for the greatest benefit for not just the people of the United States, but the people of the world. And he might actually potentially try to bring peace in the Middle East. But he has a jet. Oh, who cares? I don't care. I don't care. Trump accepting the jet, does that mean more people are going to be freed for being held hostage? Great. Does that mean there's going to be less wars? Does that mean there's going to be more trade, more energy resources? Great. I love it. If you do too, share this video. Get in the game. Get yourself some ashwagandha on wearechange.shop. Stay tuned for more all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.